Good day! I'm Diana Rose V.S. Bernas. And we will tackle about the models of effective teaching. The Marzanos model, the Nelson's model, Song's model, and Macro's model. So what is effective teaching first? It can be defined in many ways, including teacher behavior, knowledge, beliefs, and so forth. Effective teachers strive to motivate and engage all their students in learning, rather than simply accepting that some students cannot be engaged and are destined to do poorly. They believe every student is capable of achieving success at school, and they do all their best to find ways of making each student success. And now we will tackle about the four models of effective teaching. First is Marzano's model. Number 1, set goals. You need to set goals of what you really want to happen inside your class and to your students. Number 2, positive feedback. You always need to provide this for your students' progress by giving comments of how he or she develop and exercise his or her skills and knowledge. Number 3, help students to interact with new knowledge. As a teacher, you're not only teaching, but you should know if your students understand your lessons. And if it's not, teach him/her again until your student finally have knowledge to the certain lesson. Number 4, establish and maintain classroom rules. Without classroom rules, your class will be unorganized and your students cannot manage their behaviors inside the room. Number 5, maintain relationships with students. Good relationships with the students can help them to feel comfortable with teachers and will not feel so much fear. Because of good relationships, not only teachers will be loved, but to his/her subject also. As communicating high expectations. The teacher clearly communicates to students with regard to what they will be expected to do during a particular activity, providing a positive statement about their ability to perform at that level. To elaborate, Marzano believes that teachers who set goals and understanding will be effective. Teachers should also give positive feedback for students' progress. If students don't understand, a teacher should need to go back and reteach certain topics or concepts. He also suggests that teachers should help students to interact with new information by chunking smaller sections and then checking for understanding, using media, making predictions, and responding in writing. The more engagement and ownership of the learning, the more students will retain. The Nielsen aimed to develop parameters that were clear and defined and effective teaching practices. Constructive teaching philosophy is the framework for the Nielsen teaching evaluation model. This is a model that's made up of 22 different components and 76 elements, all grouped into 4 different domains. The second is the Nielsen's model and the understanding of the 4 domains. The Domain 1, Planning and Preparation. It includes demonstrating knowledge of content, demonstrating knowledge of students, setting instructional outcomes, demonstrating knowledge of resources, designing coherent instruction, and designing student assessments. Domain 2. Classroom environment. Creating an environment of respect and rapport. Establishing a culture for learning. Managing classroom procedures. Managing student behavior. And organizing physical space. The Domain 3 or the instruction. First is communicating with students. Using questioning and discussion techniques. Engaging students in learning. Using assessments in instruction. And demonstrating flexibility and responsiveness. The last is Domain 4 or professional responsibilities. First is reflecting on teaching. Second, maintaining accurate records. Third, communicating with families. Fourth, participating in the professional community. Fifth, growing and developing professionally. And sixth, showing professionalism. Let's proceed to the third model, which is the Strunge's model. Strunge identifies 6 qualities of effective teaching: the professional knowledge, instructional planning, instructional delivery, assessment, learning environment, and professionalism. Quality 1. Professional knowledge. Strunge concludes from his research that effective teachers draw from a strong base of knowledge about their profession. This includes a detailed knowledge of the content they are teaching, how to teach in general, and how learning best occurs in their particular content area. Quality 2. Instructional planning. The most effective teachers are also well-planned and organized, and they focus their planning on 3 key questions, like what should be taught, how should it be taught, and how will we know if students, and design instruction to bolster their students' knowledge and understanding without compromising high expectations. Goals and objectives are clear, practical, and attainable, and effective teachers use these objectives to assess their students' abilities and plan further instruction. Quality 3. Instructional delivery. According to his research, effective teachers flexibly use a variety of instructional strategies, tailoring their choices to their students, their content, and their time and resources. They differentiate their instruction competently, consistently communicate high expectations to their students, promote higher order thinking, use high quality questioning, and engage their students in learning process. Quality 4. Assessment. The most effective teachers designed valid assessments that reliably measure students' progress toward learning objectives. They use this assessment data to guide further planning and instruction. Effective teachers encourage students to self-assess their own learning, and they provide students with and teach students to use meaningful feedback to achieve success. Quality homework is assigned purposefully and used as formative assessment. Quality 5. Learning environment. Effective teachers create a positive learning environment that supports students' social-emotional growth as well as their academic learning. Classroom management is not left to chance. Rather, carefully designed systems are in place and implemented consistently. The classroom is organized to facilitate learning. Inappropriate behaviors are addressed quickly, and students are held accountable. The classroom is a place of joy and warmth, where risks are taken and students discover how to become effective learners. And last, quality 6, professionalism. The last quality Strunch identifies is professionalism. Effective teachers are professionals who care deeply about their students. They build relationships with them, getting to know them on a personal as well as academic level, and make it clear that they are committed to helping the students grow. And the last model is Maxwell's model. Number 1. Teacher demonstrate leadership. In classroom, teacher has the ability to conduct leadership or the role model, especially in classroom management and good behavior of the students. Number 2. Teachers establish a respectful environment for a diverse population of students. Teachers should always treat her students equally, whether if it's beautiful and handsome or not, and even if it's not smart enough. Number 3. Teachers know the content they teach. Just like what other people say, you cannot teach what you do not have. So as a teacher, you should know the content you teach because you're giving knowledge to your students. Number 4. Teachers facilitate learning for their students. The role of the teacher is to facilitate learning, leading discussions, asking open-ended questions, guiding process and tasks, and enable active participation of learners and engagement with ideas. And last, number 5, teachers reflect on their practices. Reflective teaching is a process where teachers think over their teaching practices, analyze how something was taught, and how the practice might be improved or changed for better learning outcomes. Thank you for watching and listening. And now you're free to ask me questions.